Hello, bee people. I was going to mention I was going to talk about what we do for our comb for the winter. So we're starting to bring our comb in for the last time, and we kind of let it set out a little bit. We let it set out, let the bees clean it off. We feed at the same time, so it's not a frenzy for them. And then stack these just a little bit of break so they just can't attack it. And then just let it sit out and dry. You'll just, I don't know if you can see that, just have nice comb. Now, I'm going to set this aside here for a minute. This here is a skid. We have hardware cloth on it. We basically put some, freshen this up a little bit. Some cedar sawdust, cedar chips, anything. I just happen to know somebody that's got cedar sawdust. You want that air to come up, constant fresh air. We leave these outside. Um, I don't know if I would put them inside at all. I think you have a lot of trouble when you put your frames inside without the bees protecting them. So here you go. Our skids. We have this little rim. Just happen to have them. You could make something your own. It's your own idea. You don't have to follow this. But this rim helps the airflow here, and we want that airflow. We want the light hitting. You can see the light. I think you can see the light hitting the bottom of that skid and bouncing right up in there. So that's important. I don't know if you can see these. You're going to have extra supers. What we're going to do is we're going to take our nice comb here and we're going to put it in a super, but we're only going to put 7. So we're going to start out at the bottom and do 7. We're going to go about 6 high, maybe 7 high. We're going to do 7, 7, 7, 7, and then maybe go to 8 frames. We're not ever going to go to the max amount of frames you can put in your supers. We want the air to be able to flow. And just in case you do get a wax moth, we don't want them. I don't know if you've ever seen wax moth and you have your frames together, they make a total mess. So we don't want that to happen. You know, if we lose a frame, then that's okay. I've never had that happen doing this. So all right. I think you can see this. So we just leave them nice and separated. Um, like I say, that air, they've been sitting out in the air. So, and then here you go. Get these weeds chopped down. There's one. It's a little extra work, but that's okay. Now, the ones that they didn't pull, which we're always trying to get them to pull, we have these skids. I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if I did that well enough. I was trying to set the camera up so you could see everything. I don't think so. But you see my foot? So right here is it's just some whatever you got. I'm not saying run out and buy nothing. So whatever you got. This is some board. It was made so they could put a picture on it, and it was back when they did the dot matrix for pictures. I got a few of them from some guy gave them to me. We use them for all kinds of weird stuff. So we're putting it and putting our boxes on that. That doesn't have comb because we won't have to put any kind of protection from the moths. So, and you can put all 8, 10, whatever you're running. We happen to run 5s, 8s, and 10s. And then the next one. So it goes pretty fast. I think we started the year with like, it was something crazy. 285 honey supers. I think that's what I was, which I know that ain't a mass amount, but for us it's a lot. And when they're pulling honey, man, they'll pull it all the way out because our honey supers, we generally only put about 7 or 8 in it anyway because we want that big fat comb. You actually get more honey and it's a lot easier to cut off. You don't have to sit there and pick it. And don't worry about this, they'll fill it all in. This was something they were working on. I generally try to keep the older comb like this, which really isn't that bad. But if it was brood comb, I try to keep it away from the new comb just in case, because them wax moths, they like the older comb, especially if it's got a little bit of protein in it. Anything that has pollen in it, it doesn't go in here. It ends up in the freezer, and then we save that separately because you'll be able to use that next season. And as soon as the weather, we just had a little cold. It was good enough that I put my jeans on this morning, and has been for a couple days. It's gonna get nice again. So that tells me we're gonna start losing the bugs. As soon as the cold weather hits in, especially your first freeze, you don't have to worry about bugs anymore. So Mother Nature's gonna take care of you, and then everything can stay outside. And that's kind of the beauty. So we use, it's called pear moth. I think that's the best stuff you should use. Don't try to use mothballs. I don't know what the difference is, to tell you the truth. I know there's a huge difference. Mothballs has something in it that can really hurt your bees. So don't use mothballs. Buy pear moth. It's kind of pricey. If you live around me, I'll sell it to you for $10 a pound. I think it's like $28 a pound if you try to buy it. Don't quote me on them prices, but I'll definitely sell it to you for $10 a pound. We buy it by the 5-gallon bucket, so I kind of help everybody out. So hey, there's 2. Okay. Not the yellow goldenrod. That's the good stuff, right? I don't know if you can see our little shed. We took a couple condexes and put 40-foot trusses across it. We've got that far, and then we closed in the back, and then you see the poles standing up. We got some metal that we're gonna push out across to the telephone pole, and then cantilever another 4 feet, and then put some more trusses, and then that'll be covered. We're not gonna put no walls on it, so we can start putting a lot of our stuff under the weather. Even though all of our equipment is boiled or painted, mostly boiled in a microcrystalline wax product. So You don't have to worry too much about the weather, but hey, you know, if we can leave it inside for a little bit to protect it just a little bit longer, I'm happy because, man, this equipment's expensive. You probably already know that. So you want to protect it. You want to buy quality stuff, um, and then protect it somehow. Don't just think a little coat of paint's going to do it. It's not. You'll probably only get about 5 years out of a little coat of paint. You want to do something really really good. Like if you want to do the paint, man, buy something good. Prime it. Do something really really good. Nice paint. Don't cheap out on the paint. Um, Especially on your bottom boards and your lids. Them are the most expensive. Them are the ones that you really want to put some good coat on. And don't worry about the bees. They don't care. There's paint there. Smear it on them bottom boards thick, thick. Prime it, paint it, um, because they're expensive. Um, but anyway, we're talking about this. Sorry, I ramble. Right now, the reason we're talking about this is we're pulling honey. Uh, we've we're not getting a whole lot. We have more supers on our hives than we need to. They're there so the bees would take care of them until this time of year right now. Um, and then we're going to put them on these pallets. I'm going to talk about one other little thing because you can do this in your backyard. You can do it anywhere. Just don't put it inside. Let the sun hit it. Let some air get to this thing. So things we've done and things we are doing. So this is just a migratory cover, straight, flat. This is another one of them rim boards. So that way we can put the paramoth right here. I don't know why. Oh, I just did this one. So something, it doesn't matter. A piece of plastic, anything. So you can put the paramoth on there. It needs to turn into a vapor. It's heavy, it'll fall down. So this is one way we've been doing it. Here's another way we've been doing it is, and I really like these lids. They're a migratory lid and they have this extra 1 inch space. I think at some point this is all our hives are going to have this. What are the bees doing over there? You have a lot of little swarms this time of year. I'm not really sure why though. The hives will push off a little queen. It's not the main queen, it's just they'll push off a queen and it'll send them out to try to survive. They generally don't. But these migratory covers, I want to go to them because of this 1 inch space. It's pretty nice. So it's going to be nice for this. The paramoth will be able to come out. I won't need that extra rim. It's going to be nice on your hive because you could lay a queen cage up here. I don't really like putting them between the frames because they'll turn it into a mess. And sometimes, you know, the honey will get on them. Anyway, why take your chance? You can put a pollen patty up here. If you use Apigard, which we use Apigard a lot for quite a few different things, you can put it on top of the frames and you don't have to worry about that. They won't propolize it shut. Them bees they'll do some stuff. And something else we've been going to is in the winter, we get to push our hives together using migratory lids. Not just a regular migratory lid, but we're having these made. I really like them. The only thing I want to do to it next is to put a hole in it so we can put our buckets on it. I just haven't decided on the hole yet because once you put a hole in them, you got a hole in them. So I'm actually going to start looking for some kind of nice plug. So anyway, I hope you learned something. There's many ways to do this. Look around, see what works for you the best. Hey, get in your hives. This is the time of year you need to really pay attention to your girls, make sure they got enough stores to get through winter. If this is the first time seeing me, hey, go back and watch some of the other videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. Keep smiling. Hey, go give your kids a hug. Everybody needs a hug these days. Thanks.